The Radium Podcast, episode 57. Kevin Beggs, KDE on the beat in the house.
Another one.
Oh, another one. I think he thinks that he's DJ Khaled. Fatality.
I would do some more DJ Khaled tags, but I'm trash at it. I'm not even gonna do it.
Plus, he's getting sick. He's coming down with a cold, so you just sounding kind of weird right now.
Yeah,
you got your rapper voice on.
I'm
now?
just gonna whisper the whole time. It's gonna be really weird. Yeah. It's like I'm talking sexy.
Hey, whatever happened to the Whisper song? Why didn't nobody copied the Whisper song? You ever notice that?
I don't know. I feel like the whole genre kind of did.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
It just blew up.
That song is kind of innovative.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, special guest in the house.
What up, guys?
#1 on the Hawaiian charts.
Yep.
With his big hit single, How High. We got Damboy in the house.
What up, guys? What up?
Say what's up to the family. This is the Radium Podcast.
What up, Radium?
And you got the hair to prove it. He came with the swag, pulling.
What's up, guys?
So what's up with the hair, dude?
I always have color.
Yeah?
Yeah. I always go to Hawaii to do it though, because my hairstylist is from there.
Dude, that's sick.
So
who gets that kind of treatment? I gotta go to Hawaii to get my hair done.
Well, I don't know. Hair is kind of like it's weird because like if you go to somebody more than once, it's like you build something. For sure. You can't just like switch over.
They like
you could, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
It's like if you went to this tattoo artist for like years and then
Facts.
you switched. You know what I mean?
Facts. That is a very good point.
Yeah, because it's like basically starting from scratch. You know?
Hair and tats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna open up a shop.
Hair and tats.
Hair and tats.
Or hairy tats.
Yeah.
Hairy tats.
Get your hair tatted
Hairy
on.
tats.
Yeah, we can swear in here?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, good.
I mean, I don't try to be vulgar, but
Yeah, I feel you. No, and like when I
it's part of who I am.
do like interviews, they're like, oh, no swearing. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah,
it's
you're
hard.
like,
It's
no.
hard.
Well, that shucks.
Yeah. I almost like I did this one podcast like 3 weeks ago. And it was like a family friendly island kind of podcast,
right.
and I like almost like
there's like
caught
kids.
it.
There's like kids in a circle. They're like,
felt like it.
Yay! It's Damboy.
I know, and I caught myself like, oh, so.
Hey, is damn a swear word?
I don't think so.
You got to switch it to darn. You know what I mean?
Darn Yankees.
Well, don't they say
darn.
like bitch on TV now?
Yeah, I don't know what the rules.
It's becoming more
You
and
can
more
say
lenient.
ass. I know you can say ass on the radio now.
Yeah. Damn is
dude,
like
everything's getting more lenient. Like, check it out. So, on the ballot, I think for this next coming up year in Colorado, of course, leave it up to Colorado. They're trying to pass magic mushrooms.
wow.
Yeah, like make them legal. Everyone should be able to take magic mushrooms.
Medical or
I don't think so. I think recreational. Like we're gonna do some magic mushrooms.
whoa, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
But that's a good question. It might be like
Medical first.
for psychological, yeah. Because I don't think people would understand dosing.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Break down the positive effects of taking mushrooms. How would you spin this to make it a medical thing?
Okay, so there's actually a lot of research on magic mushrooms.
Okay. See, he's a scientist. I don't know if anybody knows. But
Yeah,
he's got a PhD in something. I don't know
a
what
lot
it is,
about a lot
And he
of
has
bullshit.
glasses on.
Yeah. You have to trust me. I wear glasses.
Yeah.
I have bad vision, which means I make up for it with reading a lot.
He's got a doctorate of something.
I have a
don't know.
doctorate of something. Now, psilocybin. I don't know how to say it really, but the chemical in the magic mushrooms. It's actually a receptor on serotonin. So it's almost made up the same way that serotonin would attach to the brain, let out serotonin, etc. But that's a very you don't actually go into like tripping with magic mushrooms until you take a certain amount. So a lot of people like with LSD, they're doing a lot of this stuff. They're doing what's called microdosing.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I believe in that. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
So they're using
should.
this stuff for psychological treatments, psychiatrics and shit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, why not? You're already making the shit synthetically, and you're giving it to your clients.
Yeah.
I mean, they make what is that really heavy metal stuff for people with like schizophrenia and shit that they give them.
Metallica.
Yeah. Nailed it.
No, okay.
Guar, actually. I think it's called Guar,
what
yeah.
I'm really asking though is what is your case? What would be the case you would build for all the old white guys that are sitting on whatever judicial court that makes these decisions or whatever.
Oh, I'm sure there's tons of medical evidence and journals written.
Because you could say it makes you happy, but there's a lot of things that make you happy that we probably shouldn't legalize. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like what? Give us some examples.
I mean, what do you want? Like crack? Crack makes you pretty happy.
I don't know.
We shouldn't legalize crack.
Kev, when was the first time you did crack cocaine?
I don't know. People wouldn't do it if they didn't get any
abundant energy. Crack cocaine.
You know what I mean? You have really bad depression. Why don't you take some crack?
If you did ecstasy, you've done like at least 10 types of drugs,
right? And who knows what's in that shit?
Yeah.
I think that's the problem is like if they don't regulate it, then you're just like taking some bath salts with some Clorox with some Sudafed in it.
Exactly.
You know what's funny? Anytime I see bath salts at the store now, I think of that's the zombies that they had on the news or whatever.
They're going to eat people. They're taking bath salts.
But I was at like Whole Foods and they have like a little section of bath salts and I was just laughing, thinking about it.
You just think of Florida. That's all that does for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what happened in Florida this week? Someone got eaten. Someone, got chased by a squirrel.
I was low-key excited, like, oh man, we're going to have real-life zombies. Like, this is like a thing. Zombie bath salt apocalypse.
Kevin was ready, man. He had a shovel and shit.
Yeah.
So, let's get into the music. Damboy. So, where'd the name come from?
Well, I changed it. So I used to be called Eddie Gunn. My name is Edward.
Nice.
And I changed it sometime beginning of last year. I used to do like a bunch of different genres, but that was like, I should just do pop because pop changes. You know what I mean? And pop now is like getting influenced by other genres, which is dope. It's becoming more alternative too, which is dope because I love alternative music.
Yeah, for sure. What's like one of your favorite new alternative pop artists?
I don't know, like new. Well, the 1975 is like.
The 1975,
the newest kind of pop alternative. They're not really new, but
they're not new, but newer. Yeah.
Newer,
But you fuck with like Radiohead and
1000,
like your homie just gave you a Smiths shirt.
Yeah, I love the Smiths. The Cure is my favorite band.
Nice, yeah. The Cure's sick. So you got a lot of like songwriting, like storytelling in your music.
I do, but my songwriting usually showcases like a feeling more so a story. Because like I love songs with stories, but I feel like they're too upfront. It doesn't leave room for imagination,
Facts.
So I really love like broad writing. I mean, here and there you get detailed, but like broad writing to me is where it's at, and it leaves room for the music too. You know what I mean?
For sure.
You're not just listening to the lyrics, and it's kind of like country. Like country's dope, but like I feel like country's too up forward in some moments. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Lyrically,
but I mean that's
they're like telling a direct story.
Yeah, like word verbatim, like you're reading a book.
Totally.
Yeah. So I just did research online. I think the thing nowadays it's so hard to find a name. Like,
right. Yeah.
Everybody has some sort of name that sounds, because even The Weeknd, there was a group in Canada that was already called The Weeknd, so he took off the E.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
So I mean, little things like that. So I went online, did research. The Weeknd, Starboy. So I took Starboy and I took Kendrick Lamar's Damn album and I just put it together. It's kind of stupid.
Dope, yeah. No.
And then, I go online and nobody has that name. So
That's
I'm
dope.
like, what? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So
that's a cool name. I like Damboy. That's dope.
I like it too.
Yeah.
I think
it's got a freshness to it.
It's smart though, because like the truth is like you got to be searchable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you get searched and your name is super generic,
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then it like
your SEO just goes
your
to the
SEO
floor.
is trash, and then you gotta like really build to like.
Yep,
it's true.
8 pages deep on the Google search.
Yeah, you gotta fight 12 other artists.
Yeah, and that's what I've been saying to like all my homies too. Like even with songs, like I feel like that's really important to name it distinctly. I mean, if you go on Spotify, you search one thing, there's a billion like titles and billion. You know what I mean? It's like, like how do you stand out? And that's kind of my songwriting too. It's like. I love so much music, so like, how do I stand out amongst Taylor Swift, Drake, and even like the Mac DeMarco or the, just like everyone. Like, it's definitely a challenge,
Well, you go to Hawaii and you get your hair done.
I think
that's how you got to do it.
It helps.
Mentality is everything, man. Because like, you're saying you're trying to stand out. I see so many artists just trying to fit in. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I think that's because of Instagram and the internet. Like, Like you look at the rappers that are making it, and you see chains and drugs and girls, but like you're not seeing them in studio working for hours and hours and hours.
Right,
Like,
facts.
they don't show that, and that's why on my Instagram, like I try and show those things because like in Hawaii we don't have an industry, we don't have Capitol Records like right there. You know what I mean? We don't have stuff like that, and for my homies like that are doing it, that I like music, I like their music. I try and showcase like just the work ethic. Like
this is actually
I kind of live here, but I don't live here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I'm here for music, so every day I try to be in the studio. Like 8 to 15 hours a day, like because I don't live here, I have to make time.
That's LA though.
It is LA, but
you know what I mean? People come in and they're like,
they get lost in the sauce though. So you know what I mean?
it becomes a party scene at the
fucking
studio.
shopping and
I mean, I get
partying.
it too. It's networking. It's like when I go out, I try and network as much as possible, but
For sure.
do got to be in the studio.
Yeah.
Like,
It's hard. Like cities like LA, Miami, Atlanta, there's this like pull to go out and party, and it's you got the strips,
yeah, for sure.
and you got all the fun shit and the 2-for-1
For sure.
tequila shots and shit,
I think it's mandatory though. I mean, like music
and
is
weed everywhere.
Yeah, music is based on experiences and stories and whatever. So
Yeah.
you have to
You have
experience.
to get the stories going. Exactly.
I can be in the studio for a whole year every day, but then I'm like, bro, what am I writing about? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm writing about being in the studio, and there's a lot of people doing that.
yeah,
There's a lot of rappers out
That
there
write about-
that
yeah,
are just
that's
rapping
dope.
about being in the studio all day,
Yeah.
and it's like that's cool, but
it's true.
what else happens in your life?
That's true.
So yeah, I definitely get that, man. I think like there's a cool influence here though in LA where it's very much like artists. When you go out here, you're just gonna run into a bunch of musicians, artists, creatives, directors, writers.
Yeah.
And that energy is very that can really feed your stories.
Oh, for sure. And
music.
I used to live here, like for like a year and a half. December 2015 is when I moved here,
Gotcha.
and I was still kind of doing music, but it wasn't at this level. And I was working at restaurants, and like the restaurants that I was working at were like fine dining, and so like a kid from Hawaiian Island to work at a job, and John Mayer's coming in, Harry Styles is coming in, Sam Smith, like a bunch of people, like it's just like it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, they are real people, like you know what I mean? They have
They eat spaghetti.
They eat spaghetti, they eat dirty or what, you know what I mean? I don't know. So it was an eye opener for sure. And that's why like when my song hit last year, like if I'm coming to LA, I have to like work, like I mean I party here once in a while, but like it's not I don't just go out to drink. It's usually I'm going out to see a show or like see somebody's show.
For sure.
It had links to music some sort of way. So I'm not
you're
wasting.
drinking with the music.
I'm not wasting my
networking.
time. Yeah,
Totally. Yeah, that's a really important part of this industry. Getting out and just being seen and heard.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like you're playing live and stuff, right? Like how,
Oh, yeah.
How the live show's going?
It's good. I started incorporating like drums and guitar. Usually,
sick.
it was just the DJ sing over, but I play instruments too, so it's like I need to add more to stand out because I feel like there's so many people who just perform in front of a DJ
With their show mix, yeah.
It's cool and all, but it's like I think people are now missing the live show aspect of like drums and guitar and all that stuff.
Just so important, so much energy in that stuff.
Let me talk my shit real quick. I just feel like a lot of artists are so studio dependent when they perform.
Oh god,
you know what I mean?
I
So
see.
like a lot of the artists that I really like I've been kind of let down when
Who do
I
you
see
like?
them live. Well, I don't want to start naming people now because
Put
it's
'em on
like
blast.
I just here's everybody that I'm
Here's all these motherfuckers that suck
They're
live,
trash.
but their albums are dope.
I mean, that's true.
That's a hard thing, man, because I grew up where they didn't have backing tracks. Like it was you're in a band or you're not.
True. Yeah.
Like even the 90s, R&B and pop was like full band.
Yeah.
I guess I'm
They
a
had
little
some DJs
different.
though.
Yeah.
There were
Sometimes, yeah. I get that, but it was always some live aspect.
True.
There was always a keyboard player up
That's
there,
true.
a bass player.
That's true.
The roots were really massive, like late 90s,
Yeah,
2000s. And that was just mind blowing. When you saw them live, you had like full horn section,
Yeah.
Questlove on the drums,
Yeah.
bass player was amazing.
Yeah.
A bunch of different guys singing and rapping. It was dope.
Yeah, I think for hip hop, like, it was, for rappers, it's mostly been like the DJ and rapper. But like, I think Kanye, like when he did the Late Registration album, he came out with like orchestras and stuff. I think that really like changed the game, you know.
That was a big shift, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think there was a rapper that performed with the orchestra before.
Exactly. I think what I think it is that, you know, rap and hip hop, like starting in the Bronx and being a house party, you know, go to a warehouse kind of thing. It worked like, you know, party like it was about the DJ.
The DJ.
Yeah, but then once you get onto a massive scale and you're like, we're going to sell it in an auditorium or like, you know, a massive stadium, like you got to have some live shit.
Yeah.
Rappers used to be just called MCs, which is Master of Ceremony.
Yeah.
That's all they would do.
Yeah, you're just supporting the DJ.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
But now it's like, yo, if you're going to be a star, you got to have a band. You got to have backing.
For sure. I'm switching now just, you know, to having drums and guitar and all that stuff, but it is costly.
Oh, fuck
you know what I mean? Like,
especially
unless if you
players.
got that homie that will play for you, like drums or whatever, then it's whatever. But if you got to pay like every show, bro, it's costly. And I get the DJ thing, you know, but
yeah, that's the big problem is the cost. I mean, it's the same thing for like when we work on, you know, music for TV or albums or whatever, and it's like, yo, you guys want live players on this? Yeah, okay. That's gonna take the cost up like 5-10 times.
Yeah,
you know,
I feel you.
Nobody's gonna come in and be like, yeah, bro, I got you. I'm just gonna play all this music and you put it on your Netflix series. All good.
Yeah,
homie, dap me. You know, give me some back end. So that's a hard thing for sure.
Yeah.
So the song "How High," how did that come about, and how long has that been out? What's going on with that?
So I actually wrote it in like 2015.
Oh wow!
Or actually maybe even before. I forget, a long time ago. And at the time I was writing for other artists, reggae artists and stuff. And since I got back from LA to Hawaii, I was like, Hawaii's really big on reggae, so
yeah, I
was like, you know, I'm going to utilize that because the dope thing about Hawaii is that we have reggae stations that allow artists from Hawaii to be played on there.
That's tight.
And if you go around the States, there's not a lot of platforms like that.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Definitely not.
Like at that level where like you're driving and people are like, a lot of people are listening to it, you know?
Yeah.
And so that was a song that I wrote, and I had the idea of like making it reggae pop, you know, something new. And worked it with my homie Ronnie. Just released it. At the time I didn't have management, I just pushed it all on my own, like
Dope.
emails, like, you know, super annoying, like on Instagram, like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah. You know what? For our audience, because we have a lot of artists, why don't you break down that process of like the DIY?
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, I feel like nowadays it's you have to know everything. Like, you know, I urge a lot of my friends to study music business. Like, what's the difference between this deal and that deal? What's a lot of people don't even know the difference between an engineer and a producer. They think it's the same thing.
Yeah, facts.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah,
you know
dude,
what I
my
mean?
producer's mixing it, man. You're like, what the okay, well, good luck with that.
You know what I mean? So it's like little things like that, and you have to know everything. I mean, like, you know, you're a musician, like learn an instrument, you know, learn how to produce, or at least touch and make small stuff. You know what I mean? Like you'll get better and better. You're not gonna get worse and worse. You know what I mean? So you know, just YouTube stuff, Google stuff, how to do this. Like it's not hard. You know, I'm not saying I'm like the best or I'm an expert at it. I'm just saying I just did it.
Right.
You know, in Hawaii where, again, there's no industry, so it's like we don't have that that beacon of light like Capitol Records, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just like, you know, you feel trapped, and those reggae stations are like the platform for us, you know? And so I thought, okay, I'm going to push it, you know, emails to the radio stations, like constant emails, even like no response. Yo, hey, remember me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is that it like hit #1 in like a month. And,
nice.
You know, if you listen to like reggae in Hawaii, it's totally different from reggae anywhere else. You know, San Diego reggae, Jamaican reggae, it's like its own thing.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why my song did good because it was just modern and it was different.
Right.
You know what I mean?
A little fresh spin.
Yeah. And no, I mean, I'm pushing it, but what's crazy is that so I released it in like early May. By June it hit #1, and it was #1 till like the next year. And I think it was like September is when I crossed over to top 40. That's what changed the game, like, you know, from emails and you know,
like people emailing you.
yeah, building relationships
Yeah.
with radio stations. I think a lot of people don't realize too. It's building that personal relationship is very, very, very important.
Facts.
You know, yes, there's the internet and you can email and chat, but if you have the time to meet that person and get drinks, give them food, like, you know what I mean? Just
Right.
talk, like
Yeah.
it's to the more next level. And I was doing that, you know, going to the stations, talking and meeting people. And, but yeah, the crossover to Top 40 changed everything. Cause like I hit the Hot 100 in like December.
Nice.
On the Top 40 chart. So
of 2018.
I don't know if it's this year or last year. I forget. I think it was this year, January. I forget.
Oh, gotcha.
But that's like crazy, you know, like there's never been, I don't know if there's never been, but there's not really like a pop song that comes from Hawaii, and you know.
Yeah.
Like we have
facts.
Bruno Mars, but like Bruno
Right.
Mars, like, you know, his first hit came from LA with B.O.B.
Right.
So it's just like kind of different, and I don't think people realize that in Hawaii, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So, and I'm still pushing the song. Like, I think it's still young, and you know, it's a very summery kind of song. So, it's like the perfect time right now.
Yeah, that's crazy too. Like, I think we talked about this like had to be a couple dozen podcasts back about like working your song, because like so many artists just go with this microwave mentality where
Flood.
Yeah,
they flood.
New
They
single every day.
Yeah, and they don't like that's fine.
It's fine.
Do that.
Yeah.
But like you got to push those songs you really believe in.
yeah.
And if you're like dropping singles all the time and
Yeah.
you're like not pushing any of them and you're expecting them to just like light fire because you put it out, it's just fucking crazy. That's
You
it's
you can
nonsense.
put out one song and then put out another song, but still push the song before it.
Yeah, push
Exactly,
their
yeah.
main single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Russ was doing that. Russ was releasing a song a week or something like that, but he had his hits, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And he was putting money into that.
He
And,
knew which ones he wanted to push.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's strategy. That's called business, right?
Yeah. And the thing, you know, it's okay to release music, but it has to, spacing, like, is very important. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know what Russ did. I mean, he's been doing it for a while, but, you know, there needs to be spacing, you know? It needs time to breathe. Like I'm releasing 2 songs on May 17th,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't released anything since September. So it's been a while. You know what I mean?
That's dope, though. You're going to have some follow-ups after you got something popping, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it only helps each other. Like, the new songs will cross, you know, when people hear it, they're like, oh, what else does he have?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Facts. So the biggest thing I want to know, because this is the interesting thing, I think, is like you put all this elbow grease into it, you push
Yeah.
for years. You had the song since 2015. 4 years later,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, cool, now I got this song, and it's like starting to get some steam. Like once you actually build that momentum, does it turn around and now you got like producers and people reaching out to you to work with you?
oh, yeah, definitely. And, I mean, it's not going to come on your lap, but, yeah, definitely, like, since I've been here, I worked with some, like, pretty crazy people that I'm like, whoa, this is, like, would never happen if I
Yeah,
didn't.
tell us some people. Drop some names, man.
I think Oren Yole, that's his name.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
man.
Oren is he used to produce for like Asher Roth, and then
cool.
he produced like for XXXTentacion
Nice.
and Miley Cyrus, like a bunch of crazy names. And so that was the most interesting session because he's been doing it for so long, and that
Right.
the way we created songs wasn't like quick. I'm usually quick when I like
Yeah,
make stuff
yeah,
just to
yeah.
kind of get it out, but he like we took time like just to playing like different chords and just sounds and stuff. So it was
Right.
interesting. Do you guys know Coffee?
Coffee.
KOF, the girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So she has like the #1 reggae song right now, and so the producer's manager saw me perform at Sayers Club a couple months ago,
oh, sick.
Nice.
and I have some reggae-ish stuff, and so we kind of just like connected.
Fuck yeah.
So I might be working with him, which would be really interesting. But I don't know, just working with different people.
Yeah. But that's the interesting part because I try to preach this shit, you know.
Yeah.
Like you can't go chasing people. You got to like try to get them like get in front of them, yeah?
For sure, yeah.
You got to, you know, but you're trying to attract those people.
Yeah.
Because you're not going up to people and be like, "Yo, you should produce me, bro. Yo, you got to believe in me or whatever."
And I think a lot of people
You're
have
putting out
that
the
mentality.
songs. Yeah, you're putting out
Like-
the bait, you know?
Like, it's cool to have that energy, like, yo, I think I'm dope. But
Yeah, right.
like what I've learned too in LA is like there's so much people who go to the parties and network, and
Right.
you know, I've known people who like hang out with like Leonardo, but on the flip side, like, what do they have to show?
Facts.
You know, are they building their own empire? Are they, you know, their own brand?
They're waiting on someone.
Exactly.
And that's the weirdest shit.
Well, that's the crazy thing. I mean, I don't act. I've done a few background stuff for shows, which is fun. But you know, when I do music, I don't have to audition.
Right.
I do my own music, you know,
Yeah.
and that's why, like, nothing against The Voice, and I don't fuck with that shit. Like,
Right.
first of all, you win, and then you sign a fucking lifetime contract, and then you don't get to write your own music,
Oh man,
and then
you
you're washed.
you sign a lifetime contract before you get on.
Well, I know,
Even.
because you win, you know. And then
Yeah.
there's that new show now called Songland, like songwriting.
Oh, I haven't even
I'm
seen
like,
that shit.
that's cool, but like, you know, like nothing against the singers on there, because I think they're amazing singers.
Oh, of
but,
course.
Like, I love amazing singing, but I more so like artistry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
You look at Bob Dylan, David Bowie, Robert Smith from The Cure. They don't
Yeah.
know how to really sing,
Yeah.
but they have their own voice. And that's what I appreciate more than you trying to sound like Beyonce, you trying to sound like Justin Bieber, you know what I mean?
And having perfect pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like in a world of oversaturated music, you have to stand out.
Yeah. You got to have
You
your
know?
own voice for sure.
Exactly. And it's all about songwriting and producing.
Dude, facts. And speaking on songwriting, like, do you ever get into like songwriting sessions with other writers?
Yeah, I have.
You do a lot of co-write and stuff, right?
I have. I mean, for my own stuff, it's mostly me, but I've had sessions with, you know, people like help me out. It's usually the producer that we work together, because you work with the producer, it's half. You split,
that's a good point.
you know.
And that's those are the best times. I think you know, a lot of the internet has opened up this thing where it's like, yo, you make a beat and then shoot it over to me, and I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do on it.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Like, that is just like, oh god, it makes me cringe, dude. It's like, yeah, okay, you get that beat and then you do your thing, and then you're like,
What percentage of music being made is done that way?
You feel me?
At this point.
And then it's not
I
mixed
mean,
or
like sent to
mastered.
beat, and then you just write. To
Yeah,
it?
how many?
Oh my
What
God.
percentage of music
It's
that
like
we hear is that?
70-80%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah.
And even like just over a stereo beat, like ripped off YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, what percentage of music is just pretty mediocre to you that you hear even on the charts and stuff like that?
Dude, the majority of it for me.
Yeah, so I could I'm gonna directly correlate those together.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I get it, like, you know, where you're coming from too, but like as a writer, like especially pop stuff, you know, like pop is like this formula,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and sometimes there's songs that don't have the similar formula to what was going on, and they're
Right.
onto something new. I get it, and I don't know, like, it's hard to say too, because like when you're at that level, people don't realize too is that not only that they're artists, they're kind of a corporation. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Drake has a whole team which he has to supply medical, and he has to pay checks to them and blah blah. And people don't realize that. So, yeah, sometimes they need to be doing to what's popping. You know, especially as a rapper, you gotta stay relevant, and I think that's the power of Drake. Like, great producers, great songs, but relevancy.
But it's business.
It's
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's music business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the best way I can always put it is McDonald's makes French fries.
Yeah.
But if they decided like, yo, we're just gonna do something different and
Yeah.
we're just gonna take fries off our menu.
Yeah.
Like, people would be like, what the fuck? I ain't going to McDonald's anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like you
For sure.
can't, like as Drake, you got to
Yeah.
give him the Drake songs. You
For
know,
sure,
like-
yeah.
Music's a lot more trendy than food, though. I'll say that.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
but it's still a branding issue.
It's still
like,
branding, yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
yo, I can put out this like, you know, Kiki song and try something new and
Yeah.
you
let's
feel me,
let's
and
bounce off
experiment.
that. Do you think Drake wrote Kiki? You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna put it on Brad.
I mean, to me, it's like he did, he probably had.
I think it's a co-write for sure.
Yeah, and to
Okay.
me, it's like it's
Yeah.
okay, because I feel like, you know, I get it. Rappers need to write their own bars.
Yeah.
You know, I don't rap, so I'm not gonna like pretend that I'm in that world.
Right,
you know,
right.
but I do listen to all types of music, and if you look at the most legendary songs, have been co-written with
All
people.
of them. You kidding
Yeah.
me, man? Come on. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
It'll be humanly
anything.
impossible for Drake to write everything alone with all the hits he's ever done. It's humanly impossible. Nobody does it anymore
Yeah.
like that.
I'm gonna say this just because
I
you
think
know,
he could do it.
but
I think
but
it'd
not
just
in
be
a time
way-
frame.
I think it'd be
not in
way
that quick
different.
time frame though.
Because he'd be suffering his business.
Yeah, that's
He'd
true.
literally be losing money if he
Exactly,
did
because he has other things to do.
that. Totally.
I'm gonna say this.
I gotta show up to this award show. No, you need to write your own music.
I think Drake's the goat. You know what I
crazy.
mean?
Oh, for
I'll
sure,
keep it
yeah,
real.
for sure.
But just because I'm in the business, I know how the business works. Someone pitched him that hook at the very least.
Oh, dude,
You know what I mean?
Drake would never pick like even that range, like being up there.
Yeah.
That's
Someone
super-
pitched him the hook. You know what I mean?
come
At
on.
least.
Or even
on the
that
beat.
Bad Bunny song with him.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
don't speak Spanish? Yeah. No, so it's okay. Like, I get it, you know? And
Yeah.
Yeah. But dude, that's just that brand stamp. It's like clack, clack, clack.
yeah.
Make money, bam, bam,
For sure.
bam.
And you know what's funny is that
Put Supreme on it. You know what I'm saying? Put that Supreme tag on there.
there's this weird like notion, like especially when you get older. I don't think I've ever gonna be like that, but when you get older, you're like, oh, this new music is trash. Like,
Yeah, we always do that, right?
it's like I get it because like you have very personal ties with what happened, and then you talk shit
Facts.
to what's new. But actually, though, if you look back in business back in the day, it was worse. You know what I mean?
Truth.
Like business was a new thing. Music business is a new thing.
It's still new. The music industry is still very
Music
new.
college is a fucking new thing.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's all private, for profit.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So like when you study music business and you study that Frank Sinatra didn't really write all his songs, and then you find out that the Beatles like had other musicians play their parts, and you know what I mean, stuff like that. You're like, so how are you gonna dog on Drake?
Yeah.
And you're gonna be like, and it's even
But the Beatles are the greatest,
or Led Zeppelin, they stole Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of that's just how
I don't
art
want to say
works.
steal. They were inspired.
I was gonna say like all art is like that.
Hey, Disney didn't even, they didn't come up with that idea of the Lion King.
You ain't got the answers, Kev.
That's true.
You ain't Walt Disney.
It goes to all art. There's so much stolen
Yeah.
art, like I said.
And I think it's okay to get influenced because I think
art's not stolen. Let's be real. That's not even a thing. Like you can't say you stole the art. It's like it's fucking art, bro. There's no definition of
I think
stealing
it
when
art.
you clone, some,
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you
To
can
the
clone, but you can't steal art. That's what you do. You should be stealing. Like, you fucking kidding me? Like, you're gonna put out how high?
you can
and
be
you're gonna do a totally
influenced,
different
but
formula?
there's a thing of
It's true.
there's
You know what I
there's a
mean?
designation between being influenced and like
Stealing.
literally stealing.
Yeah.
There's a designation. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. That's like saying you can't use the 1/4/5 chord in a major
No, I mean you
scale.
can, but then the other publishing company's gonna sue you and get money off it.
Yeah,
So
that's. Let's talk about what the
Yeah.
real reason is. Like what? No sampling. No, the reason we don't fucking sample is because we want to actually collect our publishing.
exactly. I mean, like it's kind of crazy too, because like okay, look at Ariana Grande. Like that's one of my favorite things. Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
She only got like 5%.
Yeah, but
But you have
that's
to
like
realize
that's
though,
like a throwout. Though,
But when
you know?
she tours, bro, she's making thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. So
and she owns the masters for that. Let's be real. So every time you're doing a song, and
The
you're-
label owns the masters. Let's be real.
well, she's getting some percentage of it. I guarantee
Yeah,
that. So those masters and being able to even perform it, like you're saying,
yeah.
and being able to reach a newer audience,
Exactly.
expand your audience reach.
Exactly.
It's like anything in business, right? We get the patent to use the thing so that
sure.
we can get further out.
Do you guys, you know the song Old Town Road?
Oh fuck yeah!
You know
course.
where the original is?
No.
It's 9 Inch Nails.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, you're
yeah,
talking
you're
about the
talking the
sample
sample.
on it, yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
of course.
Yeah, the banjo and the
And that's the first time Trent Reznor had a #1 song on Billboard.
bam done.
So you think he's hating? No, I
No,
don't think so.
dude,
Yeah.
he's collecting checks, dude.
Yeah.
Has anyone interviewed him yet? I want to see.
That's what I'm saying.
He's really
What
low
does he
key,
have to-
though.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like,
dude,
especially
he
now.
doesn't give a fuck. You
Yeah,
kidding me?
he doesn't.
He'd go make a film and make, probably $4 to $5 million off a film.
Oh,
Hey,
easily.
Trent should feature on the song.
Yeah, he doesn't
Give him
care,
a
dude.
feature.
He doesn't care. Go play a show with 9 Inch Nails, and their live shows are still
Insane.
fucking
Sold.
insane.
Yeah, sold
Yeah.
out.
And he's still making millions of dollars just doing that.
Yeah. I saw him live.
I mean, he's collecting checks off the Facebook movie still, bro.
That's true.
Like, he makes more money than all these guys combined, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
because
he
he's a
doesn't care.
composer too.
Yeah, so I think all that stuff is really interesting, the back end stuff. Like my biggest thing is the way the music industry is now. It's like nobody's got money up front because we're all independent artists and we don't want to pay anything for anything.
Yeah.
But we want to get that back end together and we're going to build together.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like, how much of that do you go through as a writer, especially? You know?
Yeah, I mean,
Come
I'm
through,
not-
bro.
Huh?
Come through. Just cook up with us, bro.
For sure. I
We're
mean,
gonna split the back end.
yeah. Like I'm still independent. I'm not signed to anything big. We have offers, and I feel like, again, it's music business, right?
Yeah.
So, when I do get the bag or like advance or whatever, I have to split it with my team, and
Yeah.
people don't realize that. Yeah, okay. Let's say I made $1 million deal or whatever.
On an advance, right?
First of all, my lawyer takes money.
Yep.
The label takes half or whatever. The publishing takes half or whatever deal you have, and then
Right.
I take a percentage, and then I cut off and then give it to my team. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And usually a team is more than one person. It's like a couple people.
You got maybe a manager.
Exactly.
Yeah, break down the team.
For me, so I'm signed. So I have my own label, which is called Sold Out, and then my management's called You've Been Jacked. And,
Love it. Sold out and you've been jacked.
yeah.
And I'm getting fucked. I think that's the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They're
it's
taking all my money as my fourth company.
broke.
Broke as shit artist tree.
So it's my manager Jack, and then my day-to-day manager Yannick, and then we have a homie Chris. He's in Hawaii right now, and then another homie Mikey who does tattoos and like our shirts, and then we have another homie Ron who like is a DJ, and you know what I mean. But it's right now it's still mainly it's just me and Jack and Yannick, but when we build, it's gonna the whole team,
right.
and it should be that way, and I think rappers understand that, because there's been a platform for like, you got Def Jam, you got Quality Control, you got Young Money. So like there's that structure that you can just take. You guys know Lil Bibby?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know that he pretty much manages Juice WRLD?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
And so, Lil Bibby hasn't really released music and stuff like, he's washed, but no, he is Juice WRLD's manager.
Doing damn well, yeah.
He's like the next, if you think about it, he's the next Birdman. Like, that's a big artist, you know what I mean?
Juice WRLD's killing it.
So, yeah, even for songwriting, like, I'm still independent, so I have to make the moves. I have to go and meet people. I have to do great work. I think that's what it's all about. Until I get the publishing deal or the whatever deal, and it's another story, but...
Yeah, but that's just like the way I always put it. When you get your advance or whatever it is, that money is just being put back in.
For sure, yeah. It's a business loan. It's a business loan. That's how you have to see it,
You're like, I need more equipment. I need more manpower. I need, better records, better mixers, better studio time. Yeah.
Yeah. For me though, like, it's kind of funny. I think that I try not to spend as much money as possible with like engineering and studio time and all that stuff. I try and
so you put it mainly to the marketing, promo, branding.
Well, yeah, I think that,
the team.
Music is important. The music has to be fire. Mix has got to be fire. I get it. But, I find ways to work with producers that will do stuff and not, it's a building. So it's like, I think it's best to work with somebody who's coming up with you at the same level than.
For sure.
A homie of mine, Baby Winch, he plays some songs with like Lil Pump on his new album, Baby Goth, Lil Xan. Mm-hmm. he's part of a management group with what they're called, like Mono Group, but they manage like Timbaland and stuff, and we're kind of coming up together, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, he could charge me, man. He'd be like, $1,000 a beat easily. Right, you know what I mean? He could charge anyone, but that's not what he's doing. He's trying to build,
Right.
Because I feel like producers get caught up with money and they're like, oh, I need money.
Yeah.
And then $500 a beat. And then, shit with Designer with Panda, like paid him $200 and that song made millions. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
But look how much of I think he owns a huge percentage of that song in the back end, right?
I think
Designer?
No,
the person that made
what's
the
his
beat.
name?
Producer?
Menace.
Oh,
yeah.
for real?
Yeah, Menace owns like...
Yeah.
I think it's a fight for it though, no?
They might have tried to buy it out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They'd have to renegotiate because he owns like parts of the master, parts of the publishing, parts of the PR.
Well, I mean, Sony ATV bought their 50% back on the publishing from the Jackson estate for $750 million.
That's crazy.
Well, the Jackson.
So think about that. Like that dude should hold on to that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy. No.
Do you know that Michael Jackson owned about like over 50% of Sony's catalog?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Sony ATV.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So they bought it back. Sony ATV bought it back for $750 million from the Jackson estate, which is like, to me, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense if you're Michael fucking Jackson. But dude, like, you got to eat.
Yeah, for sure.
Like in this music business, it's like, okay, who's going to pay for all this studio stuff?
For sure. Yeah.
So it is a balance of that, though.
Oh yeah,
like,
definitely.
You're either like you're building with certain people that you really believe in, and like, dude, this is going to be something big. But then you're also like, yo, I got to charge you.
True. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because like producing and writing is similar but different. I mean, it takes more time. I don't know. You could take forever to write a song, but
Facts.
I can't. I mean, I can charge songwriting like, yo, here's a song, pay me $500. I've done that before.
Yeah, we do that with songwriters.
Yeah,
they charge us.
But when you're working with somebody that's on the same level, you don't do that, and you're building that personal connection. Like that conversation about rappers just rapping on beats and whatever.
Yeah.
You don't build that, and like let's say I'm a producer. Yeah, let's say I'm a producer and I produce for somebody big, and then their career kind of goes down, and then they hit me up again, and I'm here, and they're like, no, why would I fucking work with you?
Yeah.
You never had took the time to go meet me, hang out, same studio session.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
and that's an interesting thing too, because there's so many producers out there reaching out to big ass artists that they're not on their level.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, get a placement, get a placement, get a placement.
Yeah.
But that doesn't do anything for those producers.
Yeah, I mean, it's low. It's
like-
a really low chance.
It's like
Hella
clout
low.
tokens
Yeah.
on their Instagram, you know?
Yeah, for
Like-
sure.
But it just depends on how you use that. You know what I mean?
True.
Like
yeah, but like, how do you use that?
you leverage it against the smaller artists, and then you can,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
there's like, but that's like a small game, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know, what you're talking about is like find someone that you have the potential to make and sign $1 million deal with. Work on it
And
for a couple years.
build
Get the $1
something.
million thing, split it
Yeah,
off.
yeah. Because like for me and Baby Winch, like he's doing his own thing. We work together. I'm doing my own thing. So we just come up together.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's a cool idea. I think a lot of artists are doing that now just because the independent landscape is like, it's like a wide open free market, you know?
Oh
what I mean?
yeah, for sure. They say that like labels won't be around the next like I don't know 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if that...
I mean, I even see that like labels are more like business loans.
Yeah, see, I think labels are restructuring.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think they'll go away.
yeah.
I think they'll just restructure and figure it out.
For sure.
Because, dude, let's remember, like, the king of all this stuff is distribution.
For sure. Yeah.
And the labels make the deals with the distributors.
Yeah.
So if you can't do that, you don't have that kind of money in your
Yep.
bank account. Like, I couldn't go to a distributor and be like, yo, I got 10 million. I got 100 million. I can't do that. And most people can't.
The distribution game has gotten, it's a lot easier to go direct to distributors.
It's
now.
wide open
It's
now.
wide open now, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Apple's are gonna, like Apple to get on iTunes, the barrier to entry to distribute directly to them is gonna be pretty, close to nothing. Spotify, I think if you're a certain artist, you can upload right now directly to Spotify now.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to remember how much stuff is still unionized in the music industry. Like,
Yeah.
like you have to understand that's a $1 trillion business right now,
Yeah.
and that's not going to just like go away. I think everyone has this idea that it's like that's going away. The labels are crazy; they're going to die. It's like no, they're not. They have so much money and so much influence.
Yeah.
I think the music industry only made about what it was 80 billion or something on paper, or
Yeah, I don't
86
know the
billion
numbers.
last year or something like that.
I don't know the numbers,
Yeah.
but it's
Is
there's
that music industry in America?
Yeah. Well, of course.
No,
It's not
I'd
the United
imagine
States.
the whole music industry. But I think there's a big difference between music industry streaming, selling records, and also including touring and merch. etc.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people do that because Live Nation is a conglomerate.
Yeah.
And if you look at them and you bring them into the music industry, it's just not fair.
Sure.
That just doesn't make sense.
True.
There's only like the top of the top that's getting those deals with Live Nation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like saying, oh, basketball and including everything in basketball. You know what I mean? Oh, the guys that do this and they sell shirts and this, they sell jerseys over here online and the
Yeah.
e-commerce stores.
Yeah,
You can't do that. It just doesn't make sense.
It's true.
So you say like NBA,
Yeah.
right? So that shit only shit matters. So it's an interesting, like you're saying, it's super young, and there's a lot of
yeah.
places the music industry can go right now. But as far as labels go, I think a lot of people are onto that.
Yeah.
But I think it's like just because it's centralized as a record label now,
Yeah.
that idea I think is going to die for sure. How do you do that anymore? The record label? We don't
You're
even
just
have
talking about the
fucking records.
business of building artists, because that's definitely dead already.
Yeah,
Building?
Yeah, building artists.
You're talking like artist development
Yeah,
with
that's
labels and
definitely-
shit. Yeah,
You,
Right.
you don't believe in like industry plants?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's that the whole model is. This is a touchy topic because
Yeah.
when we start naming people that I think who
yeah.
are industry plants, yeah,
There's not
Yes.
very many anymore though.
Ooh, I
they
don't
do
know
exist.
about that one.
I mean, they're trying, but that's like a really hard.
There's
game
some
to
people
play
that
now.
we've already mentioned. I'll say that on this podcast who I think are industry plants.
I mean,
So.
it's mixed feelings for me because, like, okay, as a label, yeah, you got to develop your artists.
Yeah.
There's money being put into that brand, that company, that artist. Of course, you're gonna develop them, give them producers. I get it, but to me, the industry plant is like literally somebody who had no experience in music
Right.
or could sing, and then they were putting money. I get it,
They
but
had popularity.
yeah, and
No, not even that. Like, there's people that what I call plants are like people who didn't have anything to begin with, and then now
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have popularity.
yeah.
Right.
Where they had like
Yeah.
no base
For sure.
before. There's no foundation
Yeah.
for which they all of a sudden
sure.
have.
Right.
And I feel like So in America, it's so crazy. Like music business conversations in America, whether it's like about hip hop or business or whatever,
Right.
it's so different from like Korea, China.
Oh, sure.
Because
dude.
Korea, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Like J Park, if you guys know J Park.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not
the
so
K-pop
familiar
thing and all
with
the
that.
J-pop.
It's different.
It's
like
a fucking
J Park is signed to Rock Nation,
Yeah.
and so J Park when he was like 16, he's from Seattle originally, Korean guy. Tried out for this dance audition, made it, and then like, yo, we want to get you into this boy band. You're gonna make millions of dollars. Like, fuck it, I'm going to Korea. Literally in Korea, they fucking, it's like industry plan. You don't have no music out. They put money into it. They teach you how to choreograph, dance, sing, put you in studios. So it's the same thing. And it's different there because there it's like, yeah, I love them. You know, like you got fucking 10 girls in a group. You know what I mean? And 6 of them are dancers. You know what I mean? So
Dude, it's like there's a really good
They remind me of the
documentary thing
90s,
on
right?
Netflix
Yeah.
called like How It Works or whatever, and it talks about K-pop.
oh, for real? I
And
love that show.
you got to watch that shit because it's like it talks exactly.
good.
It's like they always have exactly this many members.
Yep.
And each member has their own role.
It's
So
a
like
formula.
you're the shy
Yeah.
one, and you're this one,
Yeah, yeah,
and this
yeah.
one's
And it's kind of
Crazy.
been like that with boy bands, and like you look at
Facts.
NSYNC and Backstreet
Backstreet
Boys,
Boys.
like
Yeah.
they all had their own look. Like, oh, he's the white guy, he's the
Yeah.
kind
Well,
of
same
Latino
manager,
looking
right?
guy.
Yeah.
Same manager. What's
Fucking,
that guy fucked everybody.
he did.
He fucked
And
the
he owned an
Backstreet
airline.
Boys. He fucked everybody over. Yeah, he screwed everyone over.
I know. He did, but like, bro, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't know who
That's true.
those guys
That's
were.
true too. That's
You
what
know?
I think. Like the business side doesn't get enough credit for.
Well, that's what it is they didn't understand music business. So
Yeah,
they
they're
got
like,
fucked
Yeah.
over.
I don't get it. You get fucked over. I only got this much on my check. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, you don't have a career without me. Like we
sure.
started that. Remember?
Exactly. And too, like Kurt Cobain always said this, like, I wish I knew music business. I wish I knew, you know,
Yeah.
because
No shit.
he guaranteed got fucked over.
Probably
Yeah.
out of all of them, probably the worst.
I know. It made so much money.
Jeez.
But yeah, like coming back to like industry plant, like it's just different wherever which country you are, you know.
Yeah.
I think America, because most genres are created here, we're very purist in
We
a
are.
sense with business and
We're
genres.
romantic
yeah.
about it.
And it's good. It's
Yeah.
you know, because again, like we pioneered shit
Yeah.
that the whole world is like using.
All right.
You know what I mean? But
We want to be the inventor.
I think
and
marketing
paint.
is so good with industry plants nowadays that you'd never know who really is one. Because
That's a
like
good point.
I used to thought that Khalid was one because I didn't hear about him, but then I found out he wrote for other people. Or Megan Trainor, the same thing. Like Megan
Yeah.
Trainor used to write for artists in Hawaii,
That's interesting.
and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Or Bruno Mars used to write for a bunch of people. He was with Motown, so there's the backstory that I think is really important, especially now that you know us as artists got to know more about music business and
Yes.
like how this works. So
you should. It's the fucking internet's here, man.
For sure.
You got it in your phone, on your pocket.
sure.
I just I'm gonna actually talk about one industry plant. This is gonna get controversial, but this guy's gone on the record. Of
Call him
saying-
out.
Oh, I know what you're talking about Blueface, right?
No, that's
He goes, yeah, Blueface.
I was gonna say Logic. So Logic,
Oh,
yeah,
Logic
yeah.
got signed to Def Jam after his first mixtape, and stayed quote unquote independent for
Right.
like probably another year, 2 years. You know,
Right.
but he was signed. He just didn't announce it.
Right.
So
True.
he admitted it. Logic's admitted it. So
Admitted
there's a
what?
controversy
What? Admitted what?
that he was signed to Def Jam after his first mixtape.
But he said that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like that's what I'm saying. They just didn't announce it. They pretended like he was independent.
Oh.
And he was
Right,
building
right,
when he
right.
was getting
Yeah,
major label
yeah.
funding
And- yeah.
and development,
Marketing.
You know what I mean?
But
Marketing
there's
and
footage of
development,
him like in I think it's from Maryland, right? Maryland?
I have
Yeah,
no idea.
yeah.
And like him in cafes, like open mics rapping.
Yeah, yeah.
I get it, but no. I mean, I think there's such like romanticism of like I came from nothing.
Yeah.
But like, bro, if you got signed, bro, just say you got signed. It's
Yeah,
a
it's
beautiful
fine.
thing. It's
Yeah.
music business. Again,
Yeah.
you're romanticizing like about like I came from nothing. You know, like
Yeah.
again, Chance the Rapper.
It's for the fans, right? That's
Right.
why.
It's like the story, the background
Yeah,
story.
you need a story.
With,
If
the
the
audience
story is,
expects
dude, I just-
authenticity.
yeah,
if
for
you're
sure.
signed, you have a lot of tools and things at your
For sure.
disposal.
Exactly.
They like you could literally go to Jimmy Kimmel. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
If you're
yeah.
on Def Jam, there's someone in that building that
Yeah,
can
yeah.
get you there.
But
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
to me, the term independent is
Yeah.
so loose. It's like
Yeah, 100%.
okay, you could not be signed to a label or whatever, but yet your dad is rich or you have an investor.
Yeah, your dad's putting $1 million
what I'm
in
saying?
your account.
Exactly.
And he's got connections
Exactly.
to
So it's-
music lawyers and
It's a very loose term.
It is,
know what I mean?
100%.
To me, like it matters, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it is the music. So if whoever you think is an industry plan is making dope ass music and you like it, I think that's kind of like what matters the most.
Yeah, totally. But I also see the other side where it's like you're walking through Whole Foods and like someone's playing that song that you've heard like 15 times.
For sure. Well, that's
and then all of a
business.
sudden you like it, but you don't actually like that song.
Well, it's kind of like going to McDonald's, right?
You feel me? Like, but you're like, yeah, you go by you're
Exactly.
driving by the billboards all the time.
Exactly.
Like the marketing thing.
It's a business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm saying like without that structure, without
Yeah.
that money,
Yeah.
you can't do the marketing.
Oh, yeah,
you
1000.
can't get through the noise.
Can I tell a story?
Yeah.
So one of my homies, G-Eazy, when he was first coming up, he would play shows and open up for quote unquote big artists,
Yeah.
Right.
and he would bring bigger audiences. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And this is probably like a good midway through his career, but that's how I know like who really had an audience. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because he would come and play shows. It might even be at a festival, and he'd
Right.
have more people there
Yeah.
compared to such and such huge artists
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
#1 records. And this is before he had #1 records. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Pretty
a
crazy.
different time, man. Like okay, like you look 90s and 80s, we didn't have fucking Instagram and Spotify. Like
Yes.
if Nirvana came to your town and you saw them on MTV, of course you're gonna go see Nirvana. But it's
Right.
different now. Like, you know, it's hard.
like MTV doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard for like artists like Blueface, Lil Nas X, like the big ass hits. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to get out of that. Like
Yes.
unless if you're just dope and you're releasing dope music. But
Yeah.
like you said, like Russ or G-Eazy, they built that fan base.
Yes,
Even
slowly.
Logic, they built it. They built it.
Slowly over a lot of time.
And so like,
they didn't have their hits till way late in their career.
but it doesn't see the thing is like now you don't need hits anymore. You
Right.
just need that fan base, bro.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
because Russ didn't
because they'll
have.
buy everything you put out there.
Yeah,
man, for
Russ was
sure.
selling out like big venues even before we knew who Russ was.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Good point.
Because of like,
Same with Macklemore.
Yeah,
right?
that was the Macklemore
Exactly.
story for sure.
Yeah.
Like he was selling out venues. There were
we
he
all
had
didn't know
stadium
Macklemore
shows.
until Double
Yeah.
XL,
Yeah.
right? I didn't know him until Double
I
XL.
just seen what he'd been doing locally. Like I said, he
Okay.
had he sold out stadiums in his hometown before
That's
he
crazy.
even had anywhere close to #1
That's so
record.
crazy.
Yeah,
That's insane. And then that thrift shop record just
Yeah, the
blew
thrift
him
shop.
out the water, man.
Yeah,
And what
but
did
he's
he get?
dope though.
Yeah, and he got like 4 Grammys that year. Like he fucking cleaned house.
I mean, if you hate him or not, you gotta admit like his rap, his music, his hip hop music was different.
Yeah, he still did his own thing.
It's like completely. Nobody even sounds like him right now to this day.
No. And I fucked with his stuff like early. He was talking about a lot of like, drug
Drugs,
addiction
yeah,
and like
yeah.
serious shit.
Yeah,
And suicide and things like
Yeah.
that XXX came out and did. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like it's like Macklemore doesn't get enough credit. Everyone was like, oh, well, he's white, so he gets Grammys. And you're like,
I'll
I
keep
don't
it
know,
real.
man. The
if we're-
motherfucker's been around a long ass time.
If you want me to judge the art, I'll say he's struggled right now in the position he's in,
of
whether
course.
to stay indie
Yeah.
or to stay mainstream, and he's like struggled between
Yeah,
which audience to him.
Yeah.
And I get it; it's a hard one. So
it's hard. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know how long you can stay independent when you're so big.
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
That's the
you
truth.
can, but it's definitely hard. And again, but Macklemore was a guy who had like a huge single and had to break away from it. You know,
it's hard because the when you're servicing different audiences, you have
Yeah.
to make music because, like you said, this is back to business. You have to make music that will hit a broad range if
Yeah.
you're gonna try to stay mainstream.
yeah,
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yeah.
Or if you're staying indie and you put out something that is, hyper focused to a small, niche group of fans, which you serve
Yeah.
really well,
yeah.
then you can do that. Like you said, Brad was saying he was making real serious ass music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that might not carry on the radio. You know what I mean?
Oh, for
All the
sure.
time,
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I think just music is just crazy, man. Like it's art at the end of the day.
Yeah.
There is like obviously formulas and shit.
Oh, for
And I
sure.
think that when people really do want to go pop, they can
Yeah.
do it, at any
Yeah.
point. Especially like just knowing everything that, the technology, having a laptop, like,
yeah.
if you want to be an
Yeah.
artist, be a fucking artist. Like, I think a lot of people are too afraid to do it now, and I think that's whack. I think if you got something to say, if you got some music to make the music, put it out.
For sure. And I think people get lost. Like, again, it is music business, but at the end of the day, no matter how much money I make, who I meet, what I do,
Yeah.
it's my craft, and I'm
Yeah.
going to do it forever.
Make the craft. Like, you could be the guy making pies in your little shop,
Yeah, for sure.
And you might love that. You might have your 5
So I used to
regulars.
cook. Like, that used to be
Yeah.
my thing. As a 9 to 5, I used to cook for, like, high-end restaurants. And
Dope.
to me, like, ideal-wise, it correlates because, like, you look at chefs who've been cooking fucking forever since they're, like, 15,
Yeah.
and they're, like, 80, 90. You guys watch Jiro Sushi? Jiro Dreams of Sushi. It's basically this 90-year-old guy in Japan who has like the #1 sushi spot. Still works. He's 90
That's
something.
amazing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's a craft. It's like, yeah, we all want to be lit, Janes, bitches.
Yeah, right.
But it's a craft. Like I enjoy being in the studio.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I enjoy performing the work that I did to people.
Totally.
And all the middle stuff, like, you know, podcasts, this cherry on top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is like,
Totally.
you know, I don't know that many people that get to be on podcasts, like, you know, occasionally, you know what I mean?
Facts. So especially not the Radium podcast. I mean, come on, man.
Exactly.
Talk your shit, Brad.
Blessings, man.
And again, like you guys are building, I'm building, so it's like, like look at Joe Rogan, man. Like his podcast is like the littest, but like he did it for so long when people didn't even know what the fuck a
it's
podcast
like
was.
Thousands of episodes, dude.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
You know,
when I look at I'm like 1,194 episode, I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah, but he's been doing it for years.
Years
bro.
of talking. Just think about how many episodes you put that into.
Yeah.
He's literally talked. If you put them all into one video, how long is that video?
That shit's crazy.
Couple years.
Yeah,
couple
right.
years of talking.
A couple years of just talking straight through.
And his episodes are long as fuck.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're insane.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. I'm it's been great having you on, dude. Like,
Thanks,
I'm excited about what you're doing, and I've been bumping that song.
Thanks.
And I think everyone should check out How High. It's really dope. I think it's a good blend of, you know, singing and like good vibes, and it's summery, and it's got like that modern twist to it with that 808 and shit.
Yeah.
So I fuck with it. It's good stuff.
Thanks,
and I
man.
wouldn't have had you on if I didn't, to be honest.
Oh, thank
like
you.
if you're, you know, if I was getting emails like, yo, you should, you know, get on the podcast with Damboy.
You
I'd
got
be
bars.
like, oh, this is mixtape. Like,
Yeah.
I would have just ignored the email, you know?
Yeah. It's so I'm releasing 2 songs on the 17th. Pre-orders the 10th.
Nice.
And
Gotta go pre-order, man. Like, people gotta understand they gotta fucking get on this music wave.
Oh,
When
1000.
someone's doing well, and they, like, believe me.
Yeah.
Like, when someone's doing well, you gotta get on the wave ahead of time, because
sure.
it's like when people have a sports team, or like when XXX
Yep.
was like,
SoundCloud.
and then all of a sudden everyone jumps on that wave, and it's like, dude, you guys are way late.
Oh, for sure. And
Get on the wave now, guys.
yeah, man, like, you know, as a person who does music and loves music, like I promote, I mean, whatever I like, you know, but I still just support, like, you know, that's what we do. It's like, you know, like you said, you're in the industry. When you see another industry guy, you respect it, because they, you know.
You know that grind.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of money in music, but then there's a lot of no money.
Yeah.
too.
It's a lot of investment.
Yeah, it's a hella investment.
Like time, money, energy.
Yeah, because like my music is a lifetime of my experiences
Facts.
getting to this one point. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I've been doing music for a long time and listening to music for a long time.
Yeah.
You gotta even talk about listening hours. How many hours have I listened to music?
Right? And studying it.
And studying it, and like
Yeah.
crying to it, and laughing to
Yep.
it, dancing to it. So it's those aspects that are really important too, you know?
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Everybody go check him out. Damboy.
Thank you.
Yeah, where can they find you?
Yeah.
Drop some socials.
I have Instagram.
You do?
I do.
Wow.
Damboy Music. So DAMNBOY Music.
You got
That's
a
Instagram.
website too?
No, not yet.
Coming
We're building
soon.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah. You get the team on that, man.
I do
Gotta
have
crack some
Twitter,
whips.
but I don't run my Twitter because
Twitter's a fucking crazy.
I say some
it's a
crazy shit.
show.
So I don't want
It's
to.
such a shit show.
Like, you know,
You gotta like tweet like 800 tweets a day to get anybody to see any of them.
I don't know. I mean, I understand Twitter. I just like why. Like, it's Instagram is already so time consuming. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Facts.
bro. I mean, I get it, but I don't got no time to like, you know, express my opinions.
On politics.
Dude,
Yeah.
dude,
Or
you gotta
I could
gotta
go in
chef
the-
some shit up and put some tweets out on it.
People get mad when I talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
All right, go catch Kev, KDE Beats.
At Bradley HD.
All right, and at Radium_media. We'll have all this up there, of course. Thanks for tuning in.